Inspired by Love is a podcast hosted by rachellelove, dedicated to promoting inspiration, hope, and giving a healthy dose of God's love for every aspect of life. Rachelle is a seasoned inspirational enthusiast who uses witty commentary and biblical truths for real-life solutions, offers business strategies, health and wealth tips, and self-love care. Unlock the power tools to dig deeper, discover your untapped potential, and live your best extraordinary life. Here's your host, rachellelove.
Welcome to Inspired by Love. I'm rachellelove, and I'm your host for today. I am delighted because I have two gentlemen from RichNRefined, and they're going to share some of their personal experiences on how they've been trading in the foreign exchange. So welcome, Mr. Landon Charles, and welcome, Mr. Harrison Dupree.
Thanks so
Welcome,
much.
fellas.
It's a pleasure.
So, Landon, give us a little bit of your background.
My background is primarily in financial services. I spent years mortgage lending and building businesses out. Usually, just companies that are starting and helping them develop their business credit profiles, obtaining capital for their ventures.
Awesome. Harrison, can we get a little bit of your background as well?
For me, I have a lot of background in financial services, just like Landon, and I also have a lot in labor. And I came around this opportunity, and it has inspired me so much and helped me so much financially that I am just super excited to teach it to everyone that I know and see.
Awesome. And you're an excellent teacher. Let me add that as well. Well, we know that people have been interested in the buzzword Forex, and we just want to debunk myths and fears on foreign exchange. So that's all Forex means, foreign exchange. And if you like taking initiative, if you like learning new things, then this could be for you. So, Harrison, tell us, how have you been investing with the foreign currency? Have you seen a return, and how do you look at the charts to do it?
Yeah, no, the way I like to trade is I like to trade off of the Dow Jones, which is the whole U.S. market.
Oh, wow.
So for me, I don't like putting in a lot of thought to it. So I like strategy. I like to be confident with my trading, and I like to go ahead and build up a small account into a large account.
I like that strategy. I love it. And Landon, what about you? What about yourself as far as the trading? How has it been for you?
I think it's been phenomenal. For me, it was a real eye-opener on just a different way to invest. Looking at it from a business point of view has really, really been exciting, because when you start looking at businesses, there's a lot of expenses that go into it. You have to find the location. You have to make sure you're stocked with your product. You have to make sure you've got labor, people in place. You've got taxes, insurances, building costs. You've got all these things that go into starting a successful business. And when you look at Forex, foreign currency exchange, as a business, all you need is an internet connection and a laptop.
Oh,
These days,
love it.
all you need is a cell phone.
Yes.
So there's no excuse why the majority of people with the right skill set and with the right mentors can't make money in the foreign currency.
Well, that brings me to my next question. So I'm wondering, what are people really thinking about as far as when they take an investment? What's the difference between the stock market and Forex? Can you share, Landon?
Absolutely. So with the stock market, you're usually anticipating on one particular company to do really well. The company does good, you make money. The company does bad, you lose money. Forex is different. Some people may have heard this term, you short the market. The market's going bad, you short it, which means you can anticipate a particular asset class not going up, but actually going down, and you being in position to be able to make money when the market is down as well. So that's one of the major benefits, in my opinion, of foreign currency exchange, especially when you look at a volatile country like the United States and we're printing trillions of dollars. It's only a matter of time before our US dollar falls. Wouldn't it be nice to be in position to be able to short the dollar?
Now, you just mentioned something, because our whole topic tonight is going to be about the 401k, pensions, and how the volatility in the market can impact those assets. So what would you suggest for, someone who wants to invest and make sure to protect their asset?
Well, when it comes to protecting assets, there's various ways to do that. I'm just afraid that most traditional ways of protecting assets are not going to be as effective as they once were if the actual dollar of this economy goes down. People are going to be left high and dry. A lot of people, are going to be investing in stocks, or they want to invest in real estate, or they want to invest in different things. These are all great asset classes, but you have to know when to invest in these.
When to invest in them.
Yeah, I mean, I've been in that group of people. I was new, I was green, had decent credit, had some money. Let's go ahead and buy property, and I bought at the peak. Well, guess what? Whatever goes up must come down. So you don't want to get stuck holding the bag, buying an asset class that's going to depreciate tremendously, especially with this dollar going down. You want to make sure you're investing at the right time. That's going to be critical.
Now, Harrison, can you elaborate a little bit on the education piece? What type of trainers or what type of information is disseminated into the group?
So you get various amounts of calls throughout the day. You have a basics training that is a daily schedule, every single day training. That way new people can go ahead and get the information, or old people can get the actual refresh of the information.
Right.
Okay. We have classes on risk management, where you learn how to properly risk how much you're actually trading with, right?
Yes.
We also have strategy trainings. That way you can go ahead and find a strategy that works for you and give you money, and be confident when you get in and out of a trade.
Wow, that's really good. Now, I know there are different pairs. Can you tell me what are the top 3 pairs that are traded?
It would be the US dollar, the euro for Europe, and the Japanese yen.
Wow, that's very good. Landon, would you know any?
Harrison said dollar, euro, yen. Rounding out the top 7 or so, you'd have to get Great British pound, you'd have to get Aussie dollar, you'd have to get Canadian dollar, and more than likely Swiss franc would fall in that category.
Awesome. Well, you guys are definitely very knowledgeable about the whole trading and the digital currency. What else does your platform just allow people to look in? Are there other vehicles besides, like the foreign currency is one, but what else do they offer? Either one of you.
Platform offers a lot. I mean, Harrison touched on the systematic trainings that are usually throughout a day, where you can learn, a ton of information about basics. But one thing that this group allows you to do is shorten your learning curve. This could be a hobby of yours. For me, it was a hobby. I was fascinated with how people invest and they're able to grow their money in this. But merely being a hobby, I've been looking at this for years. But once I took it serious and actually joined a group that actually had a systematic approach in shortening your learning curve. If you could shorten your learning curve from years down to months, even in weeks, in some cases, I've seen people get in and actually be making money within weeks that are serious about this. That education is far more valuable than most traditional forms of education, in my personal opinion, because these types of things, people are spending a lot of money to learn in college. Not only the most elite colleges in the country that are teaching this type of trade.
Exactly. I just want to share a personal story. I finished with my MBA. I don't remember any of this being taught in school. So this is definitely a new skill that I'm taking on. I was laid off at the top of the pandemic, and I found a way to supplement my income. So I am really excited about the opportunity to share, number one, the opportunity and the solution, because most people, most Americans today are working in a job, and a job acronym means just over broke. So they're really not making ends meet. They're not getting ahead. It doesn't matter how many degrees you have. This pandemic has come in and weakened our whole economy. So you definitely need to have another vehicle. And I am so happy and proud to be associated with this group, Rich and Refined, because we as a group, we work together. We train together, we pray together, and we also win together. So no one is left behind. We're all learning at the same time. Some may get it a little faster than others, but we all take the hand of one another. We lock arms together and we grow. So that's one thing that I can personally say about Rich and Refined. Harrison, what do you have to say about it?
I would say it's one of the groups that I have ever came in encounter with. It's one of the most loving groups. It's one of the most active groups, and I just see it as if you can get this, anyone can get this.
Exactly.
Because word refined, right? Refined. Okay. It means that okay, I don't know the definition. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. But what you're saying, it's okay to put it out in the atmosphere, because God has already said the riches belong to us. It is a divine right. It is our inheritance, you know? So it's like he said, the silver and the gold are his. I'm a child of God. You're a child of God. So guess what? That's your divine birthright. So I just want people to have an open mindset in coming in to just learn a new skill set, because guess what? Your job can end tomorrow, and then what? There is no social security, there is no unemployment. So you really have to take things into your own hands and make sure that you can control your destiny from this standpoint. You say when you're going to go to work, you say how much money you're going to make in a week or in a month. You determine that. And I think that's the best thing. Landon, what do you have to say on that?
I've always been a go-getter, and in any position I've been in, even years and years ago when I was actually working for other people, I have a real problem with the traditional way of doing things, because if I'm going to come in, if I'm going to put my best foot forward, if I'm going to do as best as I can at whatever position that I'm in, and the guy next to me is doing just enough to not get fired,
yes,
and our paychecks are the same,
yes,
I've got a problem with that. So I like the system that's been in place. The system, all that means is save yourself time, energy, and money.
Yes,
and if
yes,
there's a dedicated system that people can plug into and follow in order to profit and continuously profit, learn a skill set, something that they can pass on to their children, pass on to their nieces and nephews, they can pass on to their family, even get their family involved and actually learn this skill on how they could grow their wealth. I think this could potentially be one of those things that could break generational curses and allow generational wealth to really take to the next level within them.
You ain't said nothing right there. That is a word right there by itself. Get your whole life, because this is what we want to do. Help people understand and have a different mindset as they approach money, as they approach finances, as they approach their careers. It's not like you have to work a 9 to 5, long as you're working, right? I'm saying this is my business. So I'm working the business and I'm seeing the results. I'm eating the fruit thereof. And so the blessing is already there. God's blessing is the ones that want to do, you can do. So I want to take it a little bit further. I know there have been a lot of rumblings in the marketplace about market crashes. People that are of a retirement age or approaching retirement, their assets could be at risk or in jeopardy. How can we use the digital currency to protect those assets? What other options are there?
Well, if you look at Bitcoin and blockchain technologies that a lot of people are talking about these days, I still feel like the majority of people are not all that familiar with it, but they really whether it's on the surface or they want to get a deep understanding of how it works and how they can profit from it. Because there are already entire cities running off of digital currencies.
That's what I'm talking
Entire
about.
cities running off of digital currencies. Most people don't even know what they are.
That's
So
amazing.
it is when you think about it that way. But when you start investing in the digital currencies, it's simply another way for you to be able to diversify your portfolio.
Yeah.
You have multiple streams coming in. You're going to be able to diversify in various ways. To me, that's just one of the best ways to diversify and still have access to the liquid funds.
Wow, you really change a dynamic of a family if you have this skill set. You can teach. Now my son, he's 30, almost 30, and then I have my youngest son is 20, and both of them are like have game minds. They know how to look at charts and figure them out. So they're very good. So I've already introduced my son, and I'm hoping to get my younger son in because I know they would just make a killing. But also they would be doing themselves a favor because now they are learning a skill and a trade. Harrison, what do you think about that?
I think it's amazing that you're going to get into this because for me, I want every youngster to know about this. I want every oldster to know about this because if I don't know your age, you look your mid 30s, but I'm gonna say do
I'll take it.
inspirational to everyone, right? You're like my mama trading, and I would say that if I had a child, I would be teaching them trading at their 2, 3, 4 as they're coming up. They would get developed into that mindset of just trading because just like Landon was saying, digital currency is in a whole city. That's all they use. You learn this. You have to learn how digital currency works because it's not going anywhere. In fact, it's taking over.
And see that part. We want to introduce people so they are not left behind. They are not at the bottom. They can come in at the ground floor. Now, Landon, you had mentioned real estate. I understand that people are buying homes in Bitcoin. Have you heard that?
Absolutely. I've got a good friend who actually purchased his home in Bitcoin. People are realizing that Bitcoin is it's a different way of being able to buy money. But so here's one thing. If I give you $1, in 10 years from now, that same US dollar may not be worth $1.
Yes.
Think of it this way. You go to purchase gas, a lot of people don't realize this. It is more costly to buy a gallon of water at a gas station if you buy it in bottles as opposed to actually buying the gas itself.
Wow.
Why is that? Why is that? It's inflation.
Inflation.
Right?
Wow. Well, we have to definitely, shore up our financials, really understand. I mean, take time to review like Bloomberg, read the Wall Street Journal. I mean, that's one thing that I have really put into place because I want to know every time the president speaks, that affects the market. So I have to know when to trade, when's the best time to get in. So Landon, what are your times? What are your times that you like to trade?
personally, I like when the London market overlaps with New York. So for me, Pacific Standard Time, that's usually between about 5:30 to 6 a.m.
Okay.
up to about 8 a.m. Those hours for me happen to be when I get a lot of volatility, and it usually works really, really well for me.
Awesome.
Trading. I
Harrison.
also like Harrison, really appreciate the US 30, and that's usually when it moves a lot.
Okay. Harrison, when do you like to trade?
I actually have alarms set in my phone. So I have an alarm at 11:50 in the morning and at 2:30 in the morning.
Wow.
Just the perfect times to just look at it, check your with setup, and those are just the two times I figured out are good: 11 a.m. and 2:30.
Well, you know what? As a group, we have decided to trade Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and we love trading with Mr. London. So I just want to get your two takeaways, Landon. What would you leave people with?
You got to get ready. The last thing you want is for markets to move, your assets that you're banking on depreciate, inflation hit, that same basket of groceries that cost you $230 now cost you $480. I want people just to be able to diversify their funds and come out on top this time.
Yes.
You don't have to take the short end of the stick. What you have to do is you have to educate yourself. We have a world-class platform where we have dozens and dozens and dozens of 6- and 7-figure traders that are willing to answer your questions and walk you through this process as you learn. You can make money while you learn, and that's one of the key components to this Rich and Refined investment group. It's all about us winning together. So my couple jewels I'm going to leave with people: diversify your assets in your portfolios. Not only protect your assets in the portfolios, but learn the skill set that's going to change your life.
Absolutely. Harrison, what two takeaways would you leave our listeners with?
I would say this is a total stepping stone. And if you're optimistic like I am, and you like learning new things, you like having extra sources of income, this is the perfect opportunity for you. And you're surrounded by people that are here to win with you and have love for you. And we're all very spiritual. We're all very humble, and we're here at your footsteps. So whenever you need help, you have a whole community of people here ready to help you.
And that's amazing. And I guess my two takeaways would be, as Rich and Refined, as a group, as a whole, is something that you can really get in sync with, where no person is left behind. We make sure we go through all the basics, the training, the foundations, the strategies, the pips. We tell you everything so you can be empowered and make wise decisions in your investments. So I'm going to leave you all with this. Follow us on Instagram, Rich and Refined, and send us an email at bit.ly. I am Rich and Refined. And to my listeners, I always leave you with this: be inspired by love. Bye now.
Thank you for tuning in to Inspired by Love. Join us every Wednesday for the juice to be inspired. Like, follow, and share this podcast. Be sure to leave a positive rating.